What I want to share with you today is a technique called thought stopping that allows you to free yourself up of troubling thoughts. And it's based on the premise that every one of you came in here with two minds. You came in here with your conscious mind, hopefully. You're conscious. And you're paying attention. You're taking notes. But you also have an unconscious mind. Every one of you has an unconscious mind, and it's paying attention as well. In fact, oftentimes your unconscious mind will communicate to me with nodding, with twitches or with movements. Your head will shake right or left or up or down as a way of your unconscious mind communicating, and you won't even be aware of it. It's below the conscious level. Make sense so far? Well, your unconscious mind has a lot of skills. Your unconscious mind is the one that controls your breathing. They say if you had to consciously control your breath, you'd pass out within 4 minutes because you'd forget to take a breath. Fortunately, it's unconscious, and you automatically breathe. Your unconscious mind controls your digestion, the elimination process, all of the organs of the body, your memory, and your body's ability to heal. All of this is done by your unconscious mind. If you were to get a cut on your arm, and you were to ask a doctor to heal it, the doctor really doesn't heal it. The doctor cleans it and covers it. None of the doctors know how to tell the body to send white blood cells to that part of the body and to clean the wound out. We don't know how to tell the capillaries to knit and grow back together. We don't know how to tell the skin how to form a scab and then heal underneath that scab. This is all done by your unconscious mind. That's a small example. Take a bigger example like a broken leg. When we break a leg, the doctor doesn't heal it. The doctor aligns it, and then what? They put a cast on it. And what do? They tell you to stay off of it and to get plenty of rest. Doctors really know that most of your healing is done by your unconscious mind, and that what you need is plenty of rest to allow your unconscious processes to do its work. That bone, when it's lined up, heals itself. It actually grows back together in what they call knitting. In fact, the most important aspect of putting a bone together is to make sure that it's aligned perfectly, because once it's knit, you can't re-break it. They say that the place where a bone knits is about 10 times stronger than the rest of the bone. It's as though your unconscious mind says, ooh, there was a weak spot there, and I'm going to make sure that it doesn't break again by making it stronger. That's a pretty smart unconscious mind that not only will heal it, but will make it stronger than it was before. Now, if I were to grab a broomstick and bring it over here and break the broomstick, and then lay it down and line it up perfectly and put a cast on it and set it over in the corner, about how long would it take for that broomstick to be repaired? Never. Because it doesn't have an unconscious mind. So it's something pretty special going on with your unconscious mind. Well, what I want to suggest is that giving you a technique where you add consciousness to your unconscious mind and start giving your unconscious mind specific assignments, specific things that you want to work on. It's pretty simple to do. The hardest thing to do is to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And by that I mean disconnecting the conscious mind. How many people have had a time where you wanted to remember something and it was that kind of, it's on the tip of your tongue and you can't remember and you can't remember? And what happens? If you try real hard, you end up getting a headache, but trying doesn't seem to, does it? Usually what people report is they forget about it. And an hour later or a day later, it pops into your head. Here's how I explain that process. You've asked your unconscious mind to come up with the answer, and it starts sorting through the database, looking for the answer. And when it finds it, it sends it up to your conscious mind. So much of your memory is below the conscious level. Nobody here has probably thought about the color of the first car you ever drove. Until now, that is. And now you're all thinking about that first car you ever drove and what color it was. Now you haven't probably thought about that in years, but it's there. The unconscious mind knows right where to go to the database and pull that out. I was talking about Westerns with a friend, and I was thinking, I'm not really a big Western fan, but there's one Western that I really loved. And I have this image of these 3 or 4 guys sitting on horses at the top of this kind of a cliff looking over this town, and it's deserty, it's a Western. Couldn't think of the name of it. I remember Linda Hunt was in it. She's a really short little lady, and she worked behind the bar, and she had a special ramp built behind the bar so she would be the same height as her customers.
I think I knew who it was.
And I couldn't remember it, and I couldn't remember it. The next day I'm taking a shower, and all of a sudden, Silverado pops into my head. That was the name of the movie. Kevin Kline was one of the actors in it. That process is that I turned it over to my unconscious mind, and I forgot about it. My unconscious mind continued to puzzle on it, continued to work on it, without my conscious awareness. So that's an important part of this process that I want to talk about. We're giving something to the unconscious mind, and we have to consciously quit thinking about it. Make sense? If you try to remember something, it doesn't work. You end up getting frustrated. It's when you forget about it and you go do something else that your unconscious mind goes to work. So we're going to depend on that principle. What we want to do is, and this is a 3-step process. I'm going to use my hands to give you a visual. You can use your hands if you want. I don't use my hands when I'm actually doing the technique, but I like to explain it using my hands because it's kind of fun. So in my left hand, I'm going to name the problem. I'm going to imagine I'm going to put the problem in my left hand. Now this can be anything, but it works really well on any kind of anxious thoughts. So regarding my anxiety about going to the dentist on Tuesday, I'm going to imagine that in my hand. In the right hand, I'm going to have a switch that I flip to tell the unconscious mind to go to work. Now what does that mean, have a switch to flip? What I want to suggest is that you come up with a word or a phrase that's just a signal to your unconscious mind. And it can be anything. It can be the silliest thing. In fact, the sillier the better. The only rule I have is that it's something that you don't use in normal conversation. This is going to be a special word or phrase that your unconscious mind, whenever it hears it, it knows it's time to go to work. I use the phrase release and heal, because that's what I'm asking the unconscious mind to do. To release the problem and to heal it so that it never comes back. But I had clients that used happy cat. I had one client who used the phrase nodding sunflowers. She had a memory from childhood where she was about 6 and she was out in the garden and there was these big 6-foot sunflowers. The sun was shining through the sunflowers and they were blowing in the breeze, and it was one of the happiest moments of her life. And so her phrase is nodding sunflowers. Whenever she has a visual image of the nodding sunflowers or says nodding sunflowers, it's a signal for her unconscious mind to go to work. It's a switch that you flip. You're certainly welcome to use release and heal for today. And if you come up with something in the future that you want to use, cool. You don't really have to do anything. Just you make that decision, your unconscious mind will go along with it. You could use liquid linoleum lollipops. My hunch is that's not something that you would ever say in a conversation. So it's ideal for this kind of a switch. Now, how does a switch work? If you were to go over to the light switch, you flip it and the lights come on. What if you don't believe in electricity? And you walked over to the switch and you flipped it, what would happen? The lights would still go on, wouldn't they? It's not about belief. This is not really about belief. This is the fact that your unconscious mind heals your body whether you believe it or not. There is some research to indicate that if you do believe it, your body heals faster. So if you think you're going to get better, and if you have this positive attitude that you're going to heal quickly, people tend to heal a little bit more quickly. But the reality is your body is going to heal itself whether you believe it's going to heal it or not. You can, with a cut on your arm, you can keep saying, you're not going to heal, you're not going to heal, and it will still heal. Maybe 40 seconds slower. We don't know what the time frame is, but there is some indication that having a positive attitude does tend to improve the healing process. So I want to suggest that this technique is going to work whether you believe it or not. I just want you to suggest that you give it a chance. What does it cost you? I'll even say you're on videotape. If it doesn't work, you'll get your money back. Because you're not paying anything.
I'm going to make a short story. I'm going to have it published.
Okay, but we're not going to talk right now because I'm recording this and I want to... Will that be okay? We'll talk afterwards. Thanks, Michael. Okay, so 3-step process. Step 1, name the problem. And I typically use the phrase regarding this anxiety or regarding this unforgiving thought or regarding this problem with my shoulder. Step 2 is flip the switch. So in my case, it would be saying the phrase release and heal. Step 3, for those of you who are writing on your paper, I want you to look at this. Forget about it. You challenge your Italian mobster, and you forget about it. Forget about it. I'm not so good at it. But the idea is, think about something else. Now, if I were to tell you, on the table over there is a Thrive bottle. It's pink. It's got a white top, and it's almost completely full of water, and there's some ice floating in it, and it's sitting right next to that blue notebook. And I don't want you to think about that pink bottle. Don't think about that pink bottle, all right? What are you thinking about? The eyes go to the pink bottle, don't they? See, our brain doesn't have an eraser. And that was the point of the video with Bob Newhart. You can't stop thinking about something. We don't have an eraser. How do you not think about that water bottle? Think about this white container. And notice that it has the words here, Expo, on it, and it's got a little red spout on the front, and it's blue, and really noticing that it's got a narrow shape, and then it's got these like 4 tiers here, like almost like a wedding cake with all these different levels. And really noticing that bottle, you forget about the water bottle. I can't even remember where it was. So that's part of the process of turning it over to your unconscious mind. You think about something else. You distract yourself with something else. Questions?
No.
Okay. One little piece left in this process, and that is talking to your unconscious mind. So what I want to do is have everybody put your pens down, sit and be comfortable. If you'd like, close your eyes, because I'd like you to put your conscious mind on hold, and I want to talk to your unconscious mind. So just relax. Whether you're thinking about what I'm saying or whether you're thinking about something you did today or remembering your favorite movie, or better yet, going to that special place you have, that special vacation spot where you had the most fun you've ever had, and just remembering that. I want to talk to our unconscious mind. And I want to say to the unconscious mind, thank you. I've never thanked you before, but thank you for all the work you've been doing for all these years. You've been healing my body. You've been running my digestion, my elimination, my heart and my breathing. Thank you for all the work you've done for us all these years. And now, I want to make an agreement with you. Every time I think about a problem, and then flip the switch, it could be the phrase is going to be release and heal, or anything that I come up with in the future. I want you to take that problem, go to the root cause of it, and release it from my body. Free me up of this worry, this anxiety, whatever the problem is. Not only do I want you to release it, but I want you to heal that part of the body so that it never comes back. And I'm giving you permission to do that. I'm giving you permission, unconscious mind, to go anywhere in my body. My shoulders, my stomach, any organ, any muscle, any cell, any molecule, any DNA, any subatomic particle anywhere in my body. I'm giving you permission to go to the root cause of this problem, release it, and heal it. If the problem is not in my body but in my environment, I'm giving you permission to go there and release the problem. And by environment, it could be the room that I'm in, the house that I'm in, the community that I'm in, the city that I'm in. It could be something that's happening on the planet, or maybe it's a relationship between the planet and the stars. I don't know about astrology, but if astrology is affecting me, I'm giving you permission to go anywhere in space to the root cause of the problem, releasing it completely, and healing it so that it never returns. More than that, I'm giving you permission to go anywhere in time. If this is a problem that started when I was younger, I'm giving you permission to go back in time, release it, and heal it. If it's something that happened when I was first born, or even while I was in the womb, I'm giving you permission to go back, find the root cause, and release it. But unconscious mind, I'm giving you permission to go anywhere. If it's something that happened in a past generation, that's been handed down cellularly from generation to generation, I'm giving you permission to go back to that root generation, that root cause, and release it. Even more, I don't know if past lives exist or not, but you do. And if this is something that happened because of a past life, some kind of a karmic debt, I'm giving you permission to go back in time to the root cause. In fact, going back to the root cause anywhere in time and space, to find the root, to release it from my body, and to heal my body so that it never returns. And I just want to say, thank you, unconscious mind, for being my willing servant, for being a team member with me, and working with Release and Heal. Okay, thanks guys. Back to your conscious mind. There's not much more to say about this. It's as simple as 1, 2, forget about it. So, play with me this one time. What I want to have everybody do is use your hands, and I'll go through an example just so you get a feel for it. And we'll use your hands, though I want to remind you that you don't have to do the hand thing. I just like to do it because it's a fun visual. So, putting out your left hand, we're going to put the problem in it. So, think or say with me, regarding my skepticism that this FUI will even work.
Regarding my skepticism that this will even work.
Release and heal.
Release and heal.
Okay. Forget about it. So now, I want you to notice that there's a little yellow tag right up here, and it says television. It isn't as if you didn't know that this was a television, right? But for some reason, there's a little tag up here that I wanted. Why am I pointing out this yellow tag on the wall?
So we know there's television.
No.
On just mind's nose.
I'm distracting you. I'm putting your mind on something else. That's the third part of the technique. think about something else. Quit thinking about the technique and think about the yellow piece of paper or this badge. Yeah, think about something else. And just go back with your life. Now, if it happens that 15 minutes from now that anxiety pops back into your head, what do you do? Regarding this remaining anxiety, release and heal, and go back to doing what you're doing. Forget about it. Channel your Italian mobster. I think it actually comes from Billy Crystal movie, Analyze This.
Yeah.
Any questions? Okay, that's all there is to this technique.